We are into the month of June now. We're fairly early on in June and I usually do my tours right at the end of the month. But I've decided to do it a bit differently this time. I want to do it at the start because there's just so many changes already anyways that I really want to bring you through and just show you everything that is currently going on. So in case you're not familiar with my garden, it is split up into two different sections. We have the grassy lawn area, which is surrounded by two borders, or I guess borders on all sides really. And then over here we have my perennial garden area. There's the patio in the back. And yeah, this is where my pathways are. This is the winding area, which is just, you know, full of all kinds of perennial flowers and that, which is mainly where I focus the tours on. By the way, I'm currently trying to hit 2,000 subscribers, so if you could subscribe, I would really appreciate it. I post just gardening content, so if that's what you like, then this could be the channel for you. It is a beautiful day today. The sun has already set a little bit past my house, just the time I'm recording this, so you won't get as beautiful sunny visuals, but over here you will. And I just want to show you some of the perennials. I will be putting the names on screen as well as requested, so let's check some of these out. Now, the front border has actually received some renovations since the last time. I've moved some things around, I've changed some things out, gotten rid of some plants that I just didn't think were really working, but still some of the staples are here. Now, the front of this border is really centered on a theme. As you can see, we've got lots of the Geum Totally Tangerine about, which is paired with the Salvia Caradonna. We've also got that paired with Nepeta. And we also have some of this salvia, which is Perovskia, Blue Spire. I'm not sure if I pronounced that right. But basically, lots of oranges, lots of sort of bluey silver foliages and purples. And I just think that combination works really well. So I've tried to really emulate that all across this border. I've also got lots of Astrantia mixed in, just because I think it looks really nice. It's low growing. It doesn't mind partial shade, which this border often gets. So that's why I've got a lot of it. And the Nepeta is just all over my garden, but again, it's got that sort of bluey, purpley, silvery foliage, which works in combination really well with all of these. We've even got some of the Festucia, I believe that's how you pronounce it, which is a beautiful blue type of grass. Again, I think it just works in combination so well with all of these. Now in the middle of the border, we actually have our yellow and blue scheme. At the moment, you probably can't see too much blue. There's kind of some of it over there in the form of the scabious. It's more purple, but it's bluish. But we have this beautiful cloth of gold yarrow achillea, which just looks so incredible. I love it so much. We've got a lot of yellow in the form of this beautiful verbascum, which is just coming into flower and has a lot of spires. So more yellow combinations here at the back. We do have some eryngium, which is the sea thistle, I believe. I'm not sure the actual common name for it, but this will be a blue one. So this will pair nicely with the yellow. Yellow and blue is a great plant combination for your garden. And the scabious back there, which is known as Nautia arvenus, which I will try and move over to show a bit more, is, you know, like I said, a bit more bluey than it is purple. It's a bluey purple, so it still works really well with this yellow. And as you can see, we've got lots of tall grasses coming up as well, which I am just so happy about. So I'm really, really pleased with this front border. It's got all of the different combinations that I love. It's very colorful, but I don't feel like any of the colors, like, they all contrast nicely. That's what I'm trying to say. It can be really hard with a garden to contrast everything nicely, but I'm really pleased. And I can't wait for my next tour where hopefully this Achillea yarrow will be even taller, will have grown even crazier, and will be a lot more yellow, because right now it's very pale. So it's going to get a lot more yellow than that. This border is also the same sort of idea. This one is a yellow and blue border pretty much. Lots of silvery foliages with blues and purples and yellows in the middle. We've got another yarrow over here, another Achillea, which I believe this one is Plate of Gold. There's a lot of similar sort of names to these, so I'll try my best to put the exact ones up on screen, but they all achieve the similar effect. This one is a bit different, as you can see. This one's a lot lower than that one over there, and a lot less sort of spread out, but it will still be really nice. We also have a new Geranium Roseanne at the bottom here. That's one of the new plants I've gone and put it in, because I just think it suits really well with the combination of everything in here. I'm really, really excited for this border to come up. Beautiful GM Lady Stratophan. I always pronounce it wrong, but it's a yellow one. Again, that's to add the yellow to the combination of this border. The yarrow will also achieve that, but you know, that's what I'm sort of going for, to give you folks an idea. Also, all the poor alliums are now gone. The flowers are all gone on them, but I'm keeping the seed heads up for some interest around the garden. I just think that's a good idea. You know, they provide a special something. I have had to cut a lot of them down, unfortunately, because they all fell over and were like going on top of other plants. So yeah, I had to do that, but I've kept as many as I possibly can for now. Heading up this pathway, we have I almost call this the middle border, but it's not really. It's technically the left border. This is the one with the bird bath that I showed off in my April tour and my May tour. That was originally filled with tulips and then filled with alliums. Well, now it's absolutely filled with perennials. It's just a crazy, crazy mass of perennials in here. We have the Linaria Purpurea Cannon Went, which is a gorgeous sort of taller one. At the back, we have the white valerian, which is Centranthus ruber albus, or alba. We have the pulmonium here, which is beautiful blue. We have the Stachys byzantina, which is a low-growing, well, I say low-growing, it's actually up to my waist, which is kind of crazy, so it's decently tall, but usually it's fairly low, and it just is a good ground cover, so yeah. Here we have the Lychis Petite Jenny, beautiful pink flowers, and you can still see there are some flowers on the Silene dioica in the back, but they're kind of disappearing now. There's just so much in this border. Even the Dicentra is still flowering in here and going crazy, which blows my mind. I thought these would be over by now for sure, but they're not. Yeah, there's just a lot going on in here. It's really hard to focus on any specific thing because it's just so filled with perennials, but that is what I wanted to do. I didn't really want any empty gaps or anything, so I think I've achieved what I wanted to. We also do have an astilbe, which is coming up, and you can probably hear my birds chattering away in the aviary, which is next to this border. Pathway kind of leads over here. They're having a good time. They're loving the sunshine today. They absolutely love it. But yeah, this border has gone crazy. It's so filled, there's like, you can't see anything anymore, like underneath, which is what I wanted again, but still, I've got to keep on track of deadheading things in here and such because it is so crazy. Over in this border behind me, the blue and yellow one I was telling you about, some of my cosmos are finally flowering. Look at that beautiful one. I believe that is Sensation Pinky, that specific one. I grew these from seed myself. I pinched them and they have come up massively. They have gone so bushy. They've got so many stems and so many flowers on them. I've also got a lot of them in the middle border as well. I can't wait to see them all in flower and just to fill these flower beds up. Also, a huge Phalictrum here, which is called Phalictrum elin. So that's an interesting one if you want a taller Phalictrum. Here's that scabious, the Nautia arvenus that I was telling you about earlier. Arvensis. I always pronounce things wrong, sorry. I love this area over here. Look at this Salvia bumble sky. It's filled out so nicely. It's just massive this year. Next to it is another one of those Perovskia blue spires. We have them dotted throughout, as I mentioned earlier, to give us that sort of silvery foliage. So they go in combination really nicely with everything in here. And I love that. Now, the row of Nepetas along my pathway still look pretty good, but I did have to cut them back a lot. I did what you would call a Chelsea chop, but I only did half. I couldn't bring myself to do the whole thing. I just couldn't. I had to cut back half of them because they were kind of going a bit straggly and a bit dying a bit. So I wanted to try and preserve them as much as possible, and hopefully they will come back. Also, look at this Linaria. This Linaria Purpurea Cannon Went, the one I showed in the other border. I've also got one in here. The bees absolutely love it. There's so many of these on here at any given time, which makes me so happy. I feel like that's kind of the point of this garden and all these perennials is for the bees and the insects. So I'm so glad they're getting a good use out of it. They also love this row of Nepetas. They go crazy. what to show next. If we head up here to the patio area, which I never really show off in these tours because unfortunately at the moment it's pretty dull. We've got the greenhouse over here and the pergola, but the pergola is still a work in progress. This whole area is a work in progress. I'd like to have a lot more pots over here and such, but right now it's fairly empty. Right next to it though is the giant border, the big border at the back of the garden, which is just full of perennials. We've got another gold plate here, like the one I showed in the front border, which is growing massive. There's actually another one back there. So yeah, there's a lot of those. I think I might even have to stake that one. Looks like it's falling over a bit. A beautiful geranium. I think this one is Wargrave Pink. I believe so. We have the beautiful Ericium Bowls Mauve, which at the bottom doesn't look too nice, but at the top, it's gorgeous. We have a Centranthus rubra again. This one is a pinkish reddish one, which is really cool. I like it a lot. There's just so much in this border. I couldn't possibly get to everything, but I'm just trying to show you some of my favorites. Also, the Verbena bonariensis is coming up. It's getting nice and tall. We've got loads of them. For example, in that left border I showed you with the bird bath, there is another one. So they're basically all over the garden. Same with this Nautia, there's tons and tons of them. We also have some of these alliums, which are a different kind of allium. Very, very pretty. I can't remember their exact name, I'm sorry. But yeah, really nice. The Centuria montana is still going nicely. Still got lots and lots of flowers on it. The insects are loving it. The poppy is now fully in bloom, and it has been for about a few weeks. I had to deadhead it a lot, to be honest. As you can see, some of them have gone a bit horrible, but more buds are coming. This is Papava Princess Victoria Louise. So definitely get one of these if you're looking for a really nice poppy. It's absolutely gorgeous, and the insects love it. Salvia Schneehugel paired with another Salvia caradonna here. I just love this combination. I mean, look at that white with the purple. It's beautiful. It's a really, really good combination. I just love how it's filled out. I actually got this as just a tiny 9cm plant last year, and it's already spaced out so much, completely filling this area, which is exactly what I wanted in this garden. That's what I wanted. Along this row behind me where the Nepetas are, a beautiful campanula, so filled with flowers. It's just covered right now. We also have a beautiful geranium roseanne, which is getting decently big now. It's kind of weaving its way in and out of everything else, as you can see with those purple flowers. Not sure why it's got all those holes on it though. That's a bit odd. I really don't know what the deal with that is. I do have to shout out this Salvia caradonna, by the way. This is one from last year, and it's so nice and tall and not leggy, so I'm really pleased with that. We do have some of the rose campion get into flower now. Kind of hard to focus, but yeah, the insects love it. A bit of a short-lived perennial, but you know, not a problem. Geranium roseanne, gorgeous, although it looks like it needs a water right now. These all need a water. Look at them. They're all going over. Yeah, geranium, not geranium roseanne, sorry, this is geranium dreamland, which is my absolute favorite. I can't believe I said the name wrong. It's massive this year. This whole area is absolutely filled. We've got the Erigeron there. We've got the Achillea terracotta there. We've got the, I'm gonna probably get the name of it wrong, but I know it's an Astrantia. I can't remember the exact one, but it's an Astrantia. The scabious next to it, which is the more common sort of one. Yeah, this border is just filled with perennials and flowers. It's a pollinator's dream, basically. They're everywhere in here. But what I'm really excited for is some of my, I don't know the right word. It's like a dry planting scheme. I can't remember the name now. I've completely lost it. But you know what I mean. It's when you've got lots of thistles and things like that. Prairie, that's it. This is supposed to be prairie. So we've got lots of thistles like the echinops. We've got lots of verbenas. We've got lots of tall grasses. We of course have the Achillea. Lots of yellows and blues once again. I seem to have a thing for that combination. So I can't wait for them to actually come up. In my next tour, they'll all be up. So I'm really looking forward to that. We also have some giant Cephalaria gigantea at the back, which is another type of scabious that has white flowers. So it's very similar to that Nautia of Venus I showed you earlier. And just look at all the bees. They're loving life. They're just everywhere. There's probably about in my near vicinity, probably like 50 bees buzzing around me, and the garden isn't even that big, so that's really cool. Speaking of the naughtier, I do have to mention this. Look at it. It's really hard to get it on camera, but they're everywhere, all over here at the moment. It's so fantastic. I love how these plants just spread out so much and weave in and out of other plants with their beautiful red flowers. And look, the heroes of my garden, the absolute heroes, the ladybirds here in the UK. Look, he's literally eating the aphids off of these stems right now, because the aphids go crazy for these for some reason. As you can see on this one, it's really hard to focus, but you can kind of see it. The ladybirds are really helping me out, so huge shout out to them, because honestly the aphids have been brutal this year. For example, look at my buddleia. Look at the damage on here because of the aphids. It's also growing really big this year. It's even taller than the fence now. In the last video, it was down below the fence. That was only less than a month ago. But yeah, I think that pretty much sums up the tour for now. It's been a lot of fun showing you my garden in June. There's just so much in flower at the moment. It's absolutely fantastic. I love seeing all the pollinators just enjoying themselves. It makes me really, really happy. And I can't wait as well for next month when some of those prairie planting ones are up. So I will catch you in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe, as I'm trying to hit 2,000 subscribers. And yeah, I will see you soon for another garden tour.